The Lone Star State has been ranked CNBC's top state for business 3 times in the last 5 years. Dr. Brett Giroir, I needed to know it was probably French or something. I messed that up. Vice Chancellor of the Texas A&M University System, helps identify and recruit companies to set up shop in Texas. And our guest host, Governor Rick Perry, calls him his business and biotech development go-to guy. And I guess the first thing, Doctor, to talk about, I look at a lot of the ways you're doing things, and they're mostly public-private partnerships. There's government involvement, but the private sector is at least involved to the extent of 50% or so as a partner. Is that correct?
Yes, it's great to be here this morning. Many of our partnerships are public-private partnerships where companies can synergize with the terrific investments that the state has made in biotechnical or biomedical infrastructure, including the university system and many of the core programs like the Cancer Prevention Research Initiative of Texas and the Texas Emerging Technology Fund.
So this is a model that could work anywhere. Why does it seem to work better in Texas?
Well, I think Texas is pretty unique overall for many, many reasons. The companies we talk to, the thing that really gets them to the table is the business climate in Texas. Nothing happens without low and predictable taxation, predictable regulation, great learning environment and living environment. But on top of that, the great academic institutions we have, in 2010, over $2.5 billion expended in research for life sciences and biomedicine, over $1.2 billion in venture capital over the last few years. And we have made very significant investments in infrastructure, particularly in novel new manufacturing for biomedical products, for advanced forms of testing, that really attract companies to Texas. But that's on top of what is an absolute necessity, and that is the business climate that the governor and the leadership have generated.
I mean, Doctor, some of it is federal, right? There's some HHS stuff. How much is federal and how much is state in the partnerships?
Well, we have very broad programs. I think what you were referring to is the state of Texas, led by a team by Texas A&M University System, was recently awarded a $285 million federal contract to have a Center for Advanced Development and Innovation, and that's going to be located in Texas. So there is a significant financial investment by the federal government. This relates to taking pandemic influenza off the table and securing the country against biothreats, and it brings a number of companies to us that wanted to work with us because we had the infrastructure and the know-how available. And again, I'm here in Belgium because one of our principal collaborators is GlaxoSmithKline Vaccines, with whom we're designing a new, modern, large vaccine production facility to be located in Texas.
I mean, now, Governor, that's a federal grant. Is this one where it's accruing to Texas and to this program? Is that one of the federal grants you would like? It could be as much as $2 billion eventually, right? Is that a good use of federal funds?
Sometimes people get me confused with that I hate government. I just dislike government that is that's big and onerous and doesn't produce. I mean, there's a lot of things that government does that it actually participates in a very constructive way. This is one of them. When you have the DARPA, the Defense Accelerated Research Projects Agency, along with other agencies of government where they coordinate with the private sector and back with the states. So this is one of those where it really works well. And what Brett's making reference to here is a project where we're going to be able to go from 9 months, which is the historic time to change from vaccines, to 45 days. When you talk about pandemics, the idea of going from H1N1 to H1N7, for instance, having a 9-month period of time versus a 45-day period of time.
Right.
I mean, this is the type of technology that really changes the world. So, I mean, millions of lives could be saved by this type of an effort. So, not to mention the terroristic threats that are out there, and this project is one of those that truly has a global impact for all the country and even the world. So the federal government working with the state and the private sector, that is, I think, the wave of the future and the way we need to be working together.
Yeah, so it doesn't use eggs, Doctor? It's a different technique for making it?
Yes, that's correct. We're working to develop new technology with GlaxoSmithKline to remove the eggs from the process of pandemic influenza and seasonal influenza vaccine production. And that's really important because, as the governor said, what we want to do is be able to make vaccines for the American public at a time when they need it, so we can shorten that. We will be able to produce 50 million doses of vaccines at our center alone within 4 months, with the first doses being available within 12 weeks. And that's a substantial acceleration over what's currently available.
All right, Doctor, do you have a favorite? We got to go. You have a favorite for the Heisman this year? I just wonder whether is there anyone in mind you're thinking about? Or
Johnny Football, absolutely.
I wondered
question.
about that. Vice Chancellor of Texas A&M. Yeah, I wonder if you would have an opinion there. It didn't take you long, even though there's a delay. That came back faster than the others. Anyway, Dr. Brett Giroir, we appreciate your time and sharing that with us today. Thank you.